All right, perfect. Perfect. Here we are. Top of the morning, everybody. And happy Friday. Happy Friday. Just really great to be here. I want to thank everybody that's coming along for the ride. This Joey Betts thing started off last year, and honestly, it's a way to help out people with, their sports betting, any analytics, any kind of advice that I can offer out there. Now, if you take a pick, I always say take a look, take a pick, and win out there, right? I'm here to help everyone win, and if you want, we can match up together. I have X, I have IG. You guys stay tuned because every Tuesday and Friday I plan on doing these, and I plan on getting better along along the way, right? So going into it, just off of the intro, I do have an agenda here that I want to go through, and I kind of want to go through it pretty quickly. That way we can get on to the slate that we have going on. Um, the intro itself is, I'm here for you guys, here for the fans. It's free bets every day. I put bets on my story daily. And yeah, I'm very excited to, get to help you guys out, right? Looking at it, the platforms that I use are very important to the way that I bet and how I bet and things like that, right? So going into it, we're gonna go over to Prize Picks, which I know everybody knows about, right? Everybody is very aware. The professional sports bettors out there, they understand about Prize Picks, things like that, right? Going into it, we do have a couple slates on Prize Pick that I wanna build with you guys today. But going into that a little deeper into the platforms, I've got Underdog Fantasy as well. Some pick'ems here. What I like about Underdog Fantasy is that they have better odds than Prize Picks. You have these profit boosts that show up every once in a while. This one is NHL only. We may dig into it a little bit. Keep an eye on the IG, right? And also, links are below. Links are in the comment section. Keep an eye on that, right? I have the link to my X. I have the link to my IG, the links to these platforms that I'm going to use, these websites. I want to cite my sources as well, right? So going into it, the websites that I use to look into these sports betting is Swish Analytics. It's the first one. This is a very important one that I really like. I love the people out there at Swish Analytics. Make yourself an account. Go into You want to go into research. It gives you all four sports, how to research them, deep dive into it, right? The thing that I really like to stick to is your batter versus pitcher, MLB, right? We'll get a little bit deeper into that. I've got StatMuse as well. So this is good for, batter against specific pitcher, batter at a certain ballpark. Let's say Mike Trout, average at Angel Stadium. Oops. At home. Right, so I'll show you the 2024 season. His average at home, he had a 244 at home in 2024. So this website is very helpful when it comes down to looking at the bets. And then ESPN, of course, these ones are also very helpful, especially when it comes down to your pitchers. You got Walker Bueller, right? You can go straight to the bat versus pitch, and this shows you what he's done against other batters, right? Against the batters that he's facing today. So those are a couple of dives into it. Um, Getting into this, just straight into it, right? We want to stick with the bets. I want to get right to the point. I want to get right to the point. I want to let everyone know, what I'm all about. With all hopes that we hit today, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get started. One of the things I like to do right off the bat, I like to filter out the average over here. You filter out your average. You want to see what batters have the most familiarity against these pitchers, and then also what batters have the most success, right? So your averages, yes, you can go after the thousands, but this is only in one plate appearance, right? So what I'm looking at right now is a 16. Starlin Marte against Kevin Gausman, right? You've got Starlin Marte, you've got 27. Juan Soto against Kevin Gausman. You have a 533 average that they get on base, they get a hit. You have a 615 average that he gets a hit, right? Starling Marte in specific is 13 for 8 for 13, 615 average, 3 doubles, and a homer against Kevin Gausman. That tells me that Gausman is going to have a rough go against the Mets. Looking at it, let's go over to his line. All right, so you can go over to the pitcher. You can pick on him, bat versus pitch, and you can see the Mets. The Mets hit 319 against him. He doesn't strike out very much. He has given up 18 RBIs, 23 hits. He's going to have a rough go today. He's at Met Stadium. You can even look at something a little bold as to going Juan Soto home run, right? I'm not going to throw that. I'm not going to pull your leg on that one. But looking at it right now in my notepad, I do have Juan Soto fantasy score. He has a lot of success being with New York last year. He rakes off of Gausman. I can also see him hitting a homer. So we're going to go ahead and throw that in our notes. I love keeping notes. I love writing things down, right? Looking at it, you've got Juan Soto is 8 for 15, 2 doubles, 12 walks, and a home run, right? So fantasy score really helps out with the walks. Going into it for our next pick, I really saw this one. I took a little head start looking at the bets before you guys came in, but there was one that I really saw and I really liked. It was, where's he at? Let's go over here. This one in the Yankees-Pirates game, me personally, against Mitch Keller, because of the fact that Chisholm came from Florida, he came from the Marlins, right? 1 for 2 with a double and a 500 average, right? So not too many plate appearances against him. But looking at the game log, Chisholm is good for a hit or an RBI, right? Or even 2, right? So we're going to look at it. We're going to look over the prize picks. We already have 2 picks out there. We want Juan Soto. Yeah, that home run looks very tempting right there. We're going to take the 7-hitter fantasy score. That should be cake, right? And then we're going to look at Jazz Chisholm, see where he's at. Now with the Flex Friday coming up, it's a Flex Friday pick, so it's a $20 protected pick, right? Which means you bet your $20, you get it back in bonus picks, meaning you can't withdraw it, but you're able to bet again, right? So this is one of those where, we want to go big, but we also want to come home with some money, right? Going into it, you got Jazz. Like I said, the hits, runs, RBIs. I can see a base knock, a double with an RBI, or a double to start the inning, getting scored. I really think New York is gonna take care of Pittsburgh. I really think they're gonna just knock the doors off of them, and honestly, it's gonna be led by Jazz Chisholm. If you guys saw the home run he hit yesterday, he has a very good look on the ball right now. So we're gonna go over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And as you do this, you see that your entry fee and your winnings, right? What you want to do is, me personally, I like to watch my odds, right? Your 3 times, you're more likely to win. Your 5 times, you're getting there midway, right? Your 10 times, those 4-mans are pretty tough, unless you got, the insight, right? So going into it, a little bit deeper, we're going to go ahead and look, and this is as far as I've gotten, so basically the rest of the play is going to come from you guys, from us, right? Going into it. Yeah, I'm very excited about this, guys. Like, honestly, if you guys have any suggestions, anything like that, please drop them in the comment section. Please give me some suggestions, throw some stuff out there. But yeah, overall, I wanted to get this started, get this going. And looking at it right here, look at that. You got a 667 average going up against Jonathan Cannon from the White Sox. The White Sox haven't had such success as of late. The guy's 4 for 6 with 3 singles and a homer, right? So looking at it, you always want to cite your sources. You want to make sure that this guy is doing somewhat decent, right? So let's check it out. Bat versus pitch on Cannon. Go over to Colt Keith. Boom, boom. Bat versus pitch. Oh, let's go to his game log. All right. The guy's 176 with one RBI with a 675 OPS. If he averages a hit in .176 of his at bats, meaning 17% of his at bats, roughly 18, he's getting on base, that's not something we want to roll with, right? Unless he's a proven batter, someone like Mike Trout, someone like Bryce Harper, right? So looking at that, you kind of want to stay away from it. Don't let these deceive you. So let's go a little bit deeper into that. You got Jonah Heim. Jonah Heim right here against Zach Little. 750 average, 3 for 4, two doubles, a single, and 4 plate appearances. So looking at it, let's go ahead and go into that Tampa Bay game. Let's see what's going on here. Tampa Bay, Texas. Let's go. Perfect. Got it right here. Jonathan Heim, 3 for 4, like we said. Right? Jonah Heim. Sorry about that. All right. 0 for 3. 2 for 4. 0 for 3. 2 for 3. Right? So he has a 308 average, which is fine. But it's something that, hasn't had any RBIs since the first game of the season. He hasn't had any runs scored since the first game of the season, right? So he's someone that, may be on, may get on. He may be someone that we want to add in as, one of these goblin picks. It's like a filler pick. We throw that in, your $20 becomes 100 right away, right? You flex it out. If you flex it out, it's a free play. 20 goes into 40, so, let's put this one in our back pocket for right now. Let's go ahead and go into, let's see. Okay. Here's the Jazz Chisholm pick right here. Miguel Rojas. See what Miguel Rojas has been doing as of late. The Dodgers are on fire, but the thing about the Dodgers is that it's very hard to pick who's going to go off that day, right? Honestly, I love Freeman Fridays, but I like him at home. Freeman on the road is a little bit different, but hey, he's played it in Atlanta all his life and going up against Philly, right? Let's see what we got here. Oh, Freeman's hurt. How about that? So, going into it, we're going to look at what the Dodgers did in their last few games and what specifically. Like that. So Miguel Rojas is not playing. Let's see. Nathaniel Lowe, Texas Rangers. I mean, not Texas Rangers, Washington Nationals. Chopping it up, guys. I'm chopping it up. All right. Nationals Diamondbacks. Let's see. We got Nathaniel Lowe against Brandon Pfaadt. Game log did not do good. Three earned, 1 home run against the Cubs. Looking at it, Nathaniel Lowe's that guy. Let's see what he's done on the season. 304 average, 2 bombs, 6 RBI. This guy's doing great for the Nationals. 1 RBI, 6 RBIs on the season. Along 3 out of his 6 games he's had an RBI, and he's had a run score in 2 of his 6. Had a hit in 4 of 6 games, so we can count on him for a hit, right? Hopefully so. So let's go ahead and check it out. Nathaniel Lowe. Let's see. All right. So that one does look good. We're going to go ahead and stick with the total bases of one. Let's see. How many extra base hits has he had? 2 of his 7 have been extra base hits, but he doesn't hit more than once a day. So we're going to stick to that. We're going to go with Nathaniel Lowe on the half base. We'll go with Nathaniel Lowe on the half base, and then we'll stick that into our prize picks. Our Flex Friday pick right there. Right now, we're not so much on the money side, so we got to get some bold moves in there. All right, so looking at it, 13 at bats. You got Cody Bellinger with 5 hits and 13 at bats and 4 doubles against Mitch Keller, and I'm telling you, Mitch Keller, he's just like Gossman. He has it in for him today. I think the Yankees are gonna rake. So going into it, looking at it, you've got 2 players that have played in the National League for most of their lives, most of their career. I'm sorry, and honestly, they're very familiar with Pittsburgh, just like everyone else is, right? Cody Bellinger. Let's see. See what Cody's been doing. Got a run, a hit. 0 for 3 game. 0 for 3 game. You got a 3 for 5, 1 for 2. So Cody's been going off, right? So there you go. Another Yankee that we can more than likely count on today, right? Not your usual. When you think about the Yankees beating the Pirates, you want to think Judge. You want to think, the key players, those role players, the Anthony Volpes, right? But more times than not, it's going to be these really big role players, these key hit guys, right? So give me Cody Bellinger on 1.5. Now that brings our $20 up to $100. This is basically a free. If we win, we get $100, right? Which is, good for most. But I expect 5. Honestly, I want 5. I want a 5-man. So we're gonna go with another one that I really like today. Let's see. Tommy Edman against Jesus Luzardo. And Tommy Edman is so great because he hits the ball. He hits the ball. He hits for average. He gets on base. The Dodgers really came up on a good sign with Tommy Edman, right? Going into it, look at right away. Leads the Dodgers in home runs. Not what you expect, but exactly the guy puts the bat on the ball, right? So looking at it, he is going up against Jesus Luzardo. So Luzardo, 2 for 5, a double, a triple, and an RBI. Tommy Edman sees the ball well on this guy, right? Looking at it, it's 429, 250. He's a 290 average guy with 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, and a 980 OPS. That is safe right there. Let's go Edman. If we take him on the hits, he gets a hit. That's $120, right? And these are possibilities for you, right? I want to make sure I give you guys the endless possibilities of like, hey, I can take this, I can flex it to that. Maybe I feel bold. Maybe I want, that extra money. But with it, that right there is I believe it's 20 for 160. Yeah, there you go. That right there is $20 for 160, and it's a free $20 basically in the sense that you can bet it again, right? You can't withdraw it again, but you can bet it again. So we got Juan Soto. Check your bets. Make sure you are going along the right day. Make sure, it's not raining in certain places, right? I did check the weather before we went into this. 67 game time weather. That's fine. Most of the weather will be on the bottom of ESPN, but if you do go a little bit deeper into these Swish analytics, you can see weather on the MLB portion of it. So that's something that I never really go to, but like honestly, this is amazing. You've got your 18% chance of precipitation. The Kansas City Baltimore game is probably something to stay away from. It's gonna be wet out there, and then the hot places with 0% chance of rain. The ball is gonna fly. The ball is gonna fly through the air. I feel like right here and right here, your New York teams are going to own today. Your New York teams are going to dominate today. So take advantage and pick their players to win, right? So we're going to lock this in. I'm going to go ahead and lock this in. This is going to be our flex play for the day. You're going to see it on my Instagram story. So this is the first bet I'm playing with you guys. We're going to go after an underdog three-man, and then I'm going to show you guys how to basically feed the account, right? Which is a smaller size bet that keeps your money flowing and it keeps you winning at the end of the day, right? So it's what we call a layup. I call it a layup. All right, so you got Juan Soto on your seven-hitter fantasy score, right? So Juan Soto, he does amazing against the Blue Jays. Looking at it, 5 for 21, one home run and two RBIs against Gaussman. I like those bets. I like those odds, right? Going back into it, let's go back into the bet. You got Jazz Chisholm, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Jazz is tearing up the ball, 1 for 2 against Mitch Keller, but the way he's been hitting the ball lately, he's very familiar with Pittsburgh. He does very great hitting in Pittsburgh as well. So going at it, we like Jazz Chisholm. Nathaniel Lowe, we saw it. His average against Brandon Pfaadt. Looking at it, let's see. Let's take you through this. You got Nathaniel Lowe, 3 for 6, a double, two base on balls. He has a 500 average against them, and then coming in the season, he is. Let's go with that Wi-Fi. Let's go with that Wi-Fi. He's got a 304 and then a 1.012 ops, right? That OPS, it means a lot, right? If that guy can get on base, it has a lot to do with his fantasy score. If he can get on base, that's big on his fantasy score. It's big on his hits, runs, and RBIs. I would rather have him going after hits, runs, and RBIs than someone that hits just singles, right? And like a Luis Arias, right, who hasn't been doing very good. He's going to catch a stray today, but he hasn't been doing very great at all as far as betting goes. So stay away from Luis Arias. Like, it's one guy to stay away from. So looking at it, we're going to go ahead and look a little bit deeper into it. We had Cody Bellinger and Tommy Edman. We said 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. With the Tommy Edman pick, we are good for $100 if we just take Tommy Edman on one base, right? If he just gets one hit. I like Tommy Edman being a big piece of this game. He leads the Dodgers in home runs. Who would have thought, right? So we're going to go ahead and lock this in. Flex play. Tommy Edman, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs is going to go over. Cody Bellinger, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs are going to go over. Nathaniel Lowe, half a total base. Jazz Chisholm, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, we're going over. And 7-hitter fantasy score for Juan Soto. Right, so this is what we want. And then just a little in depth. The hits, runs, and RBIs, HRRBI is he needs to hit the ball, get on base. He needs to score a run. So if he walks, that's fine as long as he scores, right? If he walks with the bases loaded, that's fine. That'll score the run. That'll be an RBI. If he pops up the ball and fielder's choice, I mean not a fielder's choice, but a sacrifice fly, sacrifice bunt, he's going to get the RBI as well. So that's something where he doesn't need 2 hits. He needs the run and the RBI as well. Total bases. Now walks do not count as total bases. If he walks, it counts for a walk. So he needs a single, a double, a triple, right? Going into it, like we said, the hits, runs, and RBIs. Let's go ahead and lock this in. Submit the lineup. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and submit that through. One thing I failed to notice is that the prize picks, your prize picks doesn't go off of your bonus bets. It goes off of something else, right? So going into it, we're going to go ahead and run this. Run this on your 20 for 160. Very confident in this. Very confident we're going to hit this. So looking at it, we have our lineup built. This will also be posted on my story on IG, so keep an eye out for that. That's the first lineup of the day. And then I really like going after the picks that, that we've already posted, that we've already done. So me personally, the 3-man that I like, what I've seen the best of is your, let's see, man, prize picks, man. Okay, so Juan Soto, hitter fantasy score. Me, I really like the home run, which I'm going to go with it. I'm going with it. We're going to go Juan Soto. We're going to go home runs. And then also what I really liked was Cody Bellinger. Honestly, I can see Cody Bellinger going yard as well. Let's see. They do not have Cody Bellinger as a home run. So let's go back to prize picks, right? Let's see. That is very smart of Underdog not to use Cody Bellinger for a home run. Look at that. We can get on prize picks. And then I said Soto. I'm going Soto as well. And we're going to run that. We're going to run that up, and we're going to run that through the roof. That right there, 1375 for 240. We're going to lock that in, and that's going to be our, our bold one. That's going to be our bold bet. All right, so looking at the lineup, we got the $20 play. Bam, bam. And then we've got our 1375 for 254, right? So, like I was saying, Underdog Fantasy, what I like to do with that is I like to take the three people right here on this slip that I feel like are going to hit. Like I said, as you can see, I'm very big on Juan Soto today. Huge on Juan Soto today. I am going to take him for, let's do the hit, run, and RBI. I like Tommy Edman today. Also on the hit, run, and RBI. And then we're going to go with, let's see. Let's go with Cody. Cody Bellinger on the, let's go higher than 6.5 fantasy score. So with that one, we're going to go ahead and post that right now. And honestly, I just want to thank everybody for, being here, looking at it. If you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and, like I said, throw them on the chat. We're going to go ahead and play this. You got 6.5 fantasy points for Cody Bellinger. What a fantasy point is for a hitter is, let's say he has 2 singles and an RBI. It's going to be 6, 8. That's going to be an 8 fantasy score. He has a double and an RBI. That's 8. Like we said, I think he's going to hit the home run, me personally. So let's go ahead. We're going to put that in. We're going to put in 10 for 55. Confirm that through. And they inactivated Cody Bellinger. So that tells you something. Honestly, that tells you that Cody Bellinger is going to have himself a game today. So once this unlocks, sometimes you can get it to unlock, right? Sometimes you can get it. It locks, it unlocks, it locks, it unlocks. Let's see. Let's get into that game in specific. Bellinger playing for the Yankees. And he's out. Let's double check. Make sure he didn't just get projected out for the game. Not on the injury report. It should be fine. Let's double check. See if we can get Cody back. Oh, man. Let's see. All right. So Underdog took off Cody Bellinger, basically wiped him off the slate. Prize Pick still has him, which tells me that he's going to have a very good game. Underdog usually takes people off that they're unsure of, that, they can't really put a price on. That Cody Bellinger home run looks a lot better right now. So what we're going to do is I am going to go ahead and go after a pitcher. And I usually don't like doing this. I don't like going after pitchers. I just feel like the pitchers are hit and miss, especially when it comes down to strikeouts. But this guy right here against the Phillies lineup that strikes out horrendously, I feel like Yamamoto is going to go over his Ks. So let's go ahead and go after. Let's see if Bellinger's here again. No. Let's see what Yamamoto's at. What I love about Underdog as well is that if you don't feel like he's gonna get the 6 Ks, go after 5. Go after 5. Go after that, and go after a small one, right? So that $10 is gonna get you $37.50, right? If the slate doesn't look too good today, take that $37.50 and go after it tomorrow again, right? So that's what I call an account feeder, something that you have those for sure bets. You have those, those bets that, hey, this is gonna hit all the time, right? So that's what we're looking at right now. This is the account feeder. Juan Soto, 1.5 hits, runs, an RBI. Tommy Edman, 1.5 hits, runs, an RBI. And then you got Yamamoto on the alternate on 4.5 strikeouts. 10 for $37.50. It's not sexy, but it's money, and it's plus money, right? So go ahead, run that through. Bam, picks are in. You're good. Looking at it, you can go over to Pick'em. You go to your drafts, or you go to your live, to your Pick'em. Edman, Soto, Yamamoto. Bam. And then you got those 2 on Prize Picks. You've got your protected play. And then you've got your Bellinger Soto right there. Looking at it, guys, that's all. That's all I got. That's all the time I have for today. Like I said, I will be doing more, and honestly, it gets better. It gets better as it goes along, as I start, feeding into new ideas. And honestly, it all starts with you guys. I really thank everybody that sat through this. I really thank everybody that joined, everybody that's been with JoeyBets since the beginning. Thank you all, and see you on Tuesday. We'll see you on Tuesday.